Alright, what is going on, guys? Gdoggcasey here with another first impressions video. And as soon as I hit record, she started talking, which interrupted me, which I did not like. Let's get out of Mondstadt here so that the music will tone down a little bit. So, Genshin Impact. If you are living under a rock, you may have not heard of this game. But if you have any sort of internet presence or you're into gaming news or anything like that, then you've probably heard of this game. It is a free-to-play PC game that revolves heavily around the gacha mechanic that's mostly seen in mobile games. So, what do we mean by that? Well, gacha essentially means you are collecting all sorts of different currencies. Like, in this case, we have... Well, hold on here. Let me show you the wish page here. We have Primo Gems. We have... these things, we have a whole bunch of different currencies, and I'm actually just forgetting what is the best place to actually see them in. I think if you go to the shop, we can see other currencies here. We can see things like these, Genesis crystals, we have Star Dust, we have Star Glitter, we have Primo Gems like we went over, we have actual in-game gold, we have all sorts of... upgrade materials and different upgrade materials for your characters, different upgrade materials for your weapons and for your spells. And it's one of those games that just has just literally shit tons of resources that you need to collect, and they all matter in different aspects. So in that aspect, it's actually pretty fun, right? Like, it's as far as going out and playing a free-to-play game, grinding out all of these resources is something that I think a lot of people will have fun with. But I think the most important thing is understanding whether or not the combat and the actual core gameplay loop is going to be something that you're going to enjoy, because that's where this all really comes down to. You know, in these free-to-play grindy style games, it's really just all about, is the core gameplay actually fun? And we're going to do a little bit of combat here so I can show you a little bit of that. So we start off with some electric damage, and then we stack on... Oh, what the... Oh, what happened there? Okay, that's the first time I've ever seen something like that happen. Alright, so we'll try this again. Oh, now my shit's on cooldown. What is happening here? Alright, we're just gonna do some fire damage. You know what? How about that? We'll use our ultimate here for some big fire burst. We'll try to get some electric damage in here, but it seems like I'm just killing everything before the electric damage really matters. Switch back to fire and whatever. So that's a poor example of a gameplay loop. Essentially what you're doing is you're using your different character combinations to create different elemental combinations for different effects. So with electricity, which this girl's electric attack is on a pretty large cooldown, but it's about to come off cooldown now. So we're going to drop it, and it's going to do electric damage to different enemies. And you can see that by the little electric symbol over their head. And this character is pretty heavily leveled, so she's capable of just killing enemies just with that. So... I don't even have time to do a elemental combination. The electric just kills everybody. But if I combine electric with fire, then it creates like an explosion for lots of damage. If you combine fire with water, it has a vaporize effect, which also just does damage. There's some other things, you know, you can do ice and water, I think, is a freeze effect. There's a few different things. So if you take a look at what we've got going on here, we have an electric girl here. We have a fire boy. We have a healer girl, and she does water damage. She focuses mostly on healing and doing water damage. And this girl is also a healer, but she focuses on stacking defense and being a beast with big, heavy physical attacks like this and stuff like that. With some earth damage. Her elemental is earth. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to level up your party and get them as strong as possible so that the enemies that you have to fight for your story quest or for your domains or your commissions are going to be nice and smooth. And if you don't end up leveling your characters and your weapons and your accessories and everything like that, you can end up hitting a wall where you're just not doing enough damage to the enemies. So let me just show you a little bit of a core gameplay loop that I usually do when I'm playing Genshin. First thing when you just log in is to check up here and pick up any new mail you might have gotten. So I have this to pick up, which is actually day 5 of 5, which means I'm going to be getting 200 Primo Gems, which is essentially your... this is what your premium currency really is, because you can use this specifically to buy almost anything you need in the game, and it gives you a ton of it for free. I have not spent a single dollar on this game, so everything I've done so far has just been strictly free to play. But, you know, it hands you a lot of things too. We can get some fish. Not really going to be too important, but at least I don't have to go fishing myself. And this is what you use to level up your characters. So we're going to claim that. We want to make sure we're claiming everything we can, you know, each time it becomes available. We also have this, which is kind of our news tab, or new events. So we can come over here and we can get, it just so happens to be, you know, the final day for this too. So I'm getting even more Primo Gems. But that's not how it always works. Usually you just get something like this or that. If you have any questions about what any of it is, you just click on it and you can find out. The actual game itself is pretty well done, in my opinion. I don't actually ever follow this. This is probably important, but I don't ever really do it. But as far as like what it looks like and how it plays, it runs incredibly smooth, and as you might be able to tell, it has a real Breath of the Wild feel to it. Especially when you can climb like any mountain, you can glide just like in Breath of the Wild, you can teleport to different towers, and it's got birds and enemies that are just very reminiscent of Breath of the Wild, and even, you know, something that looks like shrines over here as well. But it's got a nice view distance, so you can get up high and you can look along the land and look for chests that you haven't found yet, or, you know, these specific things, which are these little ghostly type things that you'll find out in the world. And if you touch them, you activate them, and then you just follow where they go. And they usually lead you to a little torch-like thing, which I think is this. And they go into it, and usually a chest spawns. Or sometimes other things happen, like you know, an air geyser that you can use to get up in the air high will show up. These are water enemies, so we just kill them with fire. You know, different things. So if you see those things, you want to activate them and follow them. And that's kind of one of the big cruxes of this game, is essentially just getting distracted by everything you see out in the world. So over here I see like a group of enemies, which also look like they came out of Breath of the Wild. Chances are there's a chest there, and yes, there is a chest. And unlocking chests is very good. So we're going to do our typical combo here, where we lay down some ongoing elemental, or ongoing electric, and then we use fire to just make big damage happen. And unlock the chest. And when you unlock the chest, you get adventure XP. So going back on the different types of resources, there's different types of experience as well. So we have an adventure rank, which, how do I see my adventure rank specifically? Adventure handbook. Okay, right here. Adventure rank 21, right? So as your adventure rank goes up, that's kind of like your account level. You unlock different parts of the game. And it just kind of steadily goes up. Unlocking chests will raise this. Completing certain world events will raise it. Completing quests will raise it. Almost everything you do will raise it. So just play the game. And one of the big things that you can do to help you play the game is follow the missions that are given to you through your battle pass, which you will unlock after a certain amount. So we get battle pass up to level 4, and we can do these on a daily basis to increase our battle pass. I was considering paying for the battle pass, which is this. The $13.99 gives you a guaranteed 4-star weapon if you can complete the goals. And 4-star weapons are pretty valuable as a new player, but I haven't yet, and I'm not sure that I will. Because at this time, I think my daily playing of Genshin is starting to peter out a little bit, but that's only because I'm realizing the scope of pretty much everything you can do in this game. So let's talk a little more about that. So on a daily basis, you get these commissions, and we're going to do a few of them here. So you pretty much just want to do each 4 commissions each day. So we'll start with the top one. Click the navigate button so our map points at it, and we can see this is where we need to go. Now there's a bunch of teleport spots here that I haven't unlocked yet. So I can't teleport here, but I can teleport here. So we're going to go there, and we'll go complete that commission. And we're just going to do the one for the sake of this video, but the general gist is that you want to do them all so you can get the this thing, the bonus rewards, which is more Primo Gems, more adventure experience, and this is 500, so this is very good. Not even counting the fact that you're getting 200 per commission. So 2468 plus 5 is 1300 experience in just one day. Not bad. Plus this stuff, you know, there's stuff here that's good for you. So you want to be doing this. We're going to do the one here, and you'll get a kind of idea as to what that looks like. There are no mounts in the game, which I have a feeling sometime in the future they will release mounts, because they would be, it would be very smart of them to do that, considering the world is so large, and having a mount would make traversing it much easier. But of course, you can also just unlock all the teleport spots, and then traveling around is a lot easier that way as well. But here you can see, you know, when you get up in the air, you can really see very far. There's a chest over there I can go collect if I wanted. Only seeing one. I was expecting to see more on this trip, but regardless, you know, sometimes you'll see a lot more than just the one. Actually, there might be a second one up there as well. Oh, and there's something here. So this stuff interacts with fire. So if I use my fire ability, it's not working. So that means there's something else going on here that I don't... Yeah, fire doesn't seem to be working. Does water work? No. No, so there's something here that I'm not familiar with, and that's fine, because that's what this game is full of, is just little puzzles that you're not going to be sure how to solve. There's probably a specific thing to do with that, but I don't know what it is. Regardless, our goal here is to complete this commission. And once you start playing this game more, you start realizing which materials are actually important for you and which materials are less important that you might not really need. And you start to really prioritize your playing and the missions that you go out to do, so that you can start collecting the resources that are important to you, so that you can level up your character or level up your weapon and all that stuff. So let's go ahead straight to the heart. Hopefully this isn't a puzzle, because I'm really not in the mood to be completing puzzles right now. Alright. Okay, we have to go out and find pictures. This is pretty much exactly what I did not want to do. This is an earth elemental, so I don't think it's going to work. No, I need to actually get earth on my weapon, which I think I need to unlock my Q to be able to do. So I'm not going to be able to hit that either. Okay, so not a great... Okay, over here. Step on this. And kill these things. Okay, so since they're fire, they're naturally weak to electricity. So I get those explosions I was telling you about without having to do fire damage, because they're already experiencing the fire element, right? These guys are dark, so they actually do require... So I hit them with this, which actually seemed to just kill them, so never mind. I was trying to put lightning effect on them, but instead they just died. Here we got some water guys, and lightning also has a good effect with them as well. What it does is it does AoE damage to everything around it. And this is not a good way to show you, because I'm just kind of one-shotting everything here. But you can kind of get the point. And once you start realizing which elements have which reactions with each other, then you can start combining them in order to make some cool things happen. So ice and fire makes melt. But my characters are pretty high leveled for what I'm doing right now, so it's not really causing an issue. Alright, so we completed that. Okay, good. We did the commission. Great. So that's all we really have to do. And if we check now, we can see we got the rewards for the commission, and we just need to do 3 more to get those rewards, and we can get these rewards too. Another thing you can do on a daily basis is domains. And domains are kind of interesting. They're like little mini dungeons. So let's say this one here, they all give adventure experience, gold, and companion experience, but then each different one offers different types of materials at different levels. This, for example, is required to level up certain weapons. This is required to level up different weapons. So what I want to do is have a look at my character. Okay, let's say Bennett is who I'm working on. And I want to level up his weapon, because he's got a nice 4-star weapon here. So it's already maxed out at level 40. In order for me to ascend it, I need these. But I can't even ascend past this until I hit adventure rank level 25, so I'm not even really able to do much about this right now. Instead, let's look at a different character. Have I done anything with her? Okay, good. So this is not a great example because she's using a 3-star weapon, which is not typically something that you want to dump your resources in because you're going to be replacing it with a 4-star weapon. And this lady doesn't have a 4-star weapon either. So what we can do, though, is just look at a 3-star weapon, and we can try to enhance it. So what we do is we use all of our level 1-star weapons to dump into this weapon and boost up its level. Now, technically, I'm wasting this stuff because it's not really the best use of it, but whatever. Just for the sake of showing you guys, we use all our 1-star materials to get it up to level 10. We can go to 2-star and add those, but I'm actually running pretty low on materials because I've already dumped all of this stuff. But regardless, it's going to be enough for us to get this weapon up to level 20. Okay? So my base attack goes up, my elemental goes up, everything goes up, so my damage goes up, which is the gist. Now that it's level 20, it needs to be ascended. So to ascend it, you need specific materials like this, for example, where I already have 2 of them. So I actually am going to be able to ascend this weapon, which will give it 20 more levels I can dump into it, which essentially means now I can bump it up even more. So now it goes up to 105 base attack, and I can auto-add even more. I'm actually not going to now because I think that I actually am wasting this stuff, but that's the general gist. So you decide, okay, you know, I got this weapon with Bennett. I really like it. I want to keep leveling it up, so I need to find out where can I get these. And you start to learn where you can get those by checking your domains and seeing which one of them actually unlocks. And there's some of them that I haven't been to yet, so I don't know if maybe they're going to have those materials, but I don't think so because these are labeled as artifacts, which means they're going to be dropping these different artifacts, but these are weapon ascension materials, so I need to do weapon ascension material domains in order to get the weapon ascension materials to level up, right? So it's confusing, and it's going to take you a few days of playing before you start realizing, like, oh, okay, I get it. You know, there's actually a method to all of this, and turns out pretty much every resource in the game is important in some way or another, so picking up everything is going to be what you want to do. You can also go to bosses as well, and it shows you where you can find them in the world and what they drop. So I had a moment a day or two ago where I was looking for these guys because I needed these things. So you can just click on them here and navigate to them, and the map will show you where they are. So you can click here, teleport, and you can just go kill that guy, and then you'll get those resources, and then you can do it again. They keep respawning all around the world. So as you explore the world and get all of the teleport markers unlocked and all the towers unlocked, and you know, you unlock the whole world to be unlocked at your disposal, you get different places you can go to get all these different resources. So this is just one example. Let's say if I needed those recruit insignias that these guys drop in order to level up something, which I don't remember what I needed them for, but I did need them. So I went hunting for these guys and collected a few, so I was able to ascend whatever it was. So see, we got the fire on them now, so we'll get some electricity going. And now you see that overloaded kicking in occasionally, doing massive damage. And if I wanted to heal Bennett, I can pull out my heal. And now everyone's healed. It's, you know, it's a thing. And I'm not really the best person to explain all of the details about this game to you, but it's more about just kind of giving you an idea of how it's played and whether or not it's something that you're going to like. Now, like I said before, I spent $0 on this game. I think that, you know, as far as free-to-play games go, you can... everyone's going to have a different opinion. But it seems like it's very possible to play this game totally fine without having to spend any money. It's just going to take you a long time to level up everything that you need in order to stop hitting a specific wall. Because eventually you're just not going to be able to do enough damage. If we pick these things up, we can create an airflow, which we can use to fly up here, and now we can drop in here. So it's, you know, riveting puzzle stuff here, but there we go. And you can see we got 10 adventure experience for that. Not a lot, but you want to get as much adventure experience as you can throughout the game in order to bump that up. Because every time you increase your adventure rank, you are getting closer to unlocking some major game mechanics that you probably want to interface with. So let's see what we got here. So, oh yeah, this is Battle Pass stuff. What does it want me to do? Oh, we hit level 4, so we can claim our level 4 rewards, which is some more experience. And we can use this experience to level up our characters, which, do I have any? Yeah, she's only level 34, so we can give her some of these and level her up. So we just dump these into her and try to get her up to level 40, because she is a pretty high tier healer that I want to focus on. So that's what we're doing. We're getting her up here. Level 39. We used all the big experience things, but we can use the small ones now to get her up to level 40. Great. Now she's level 40, so technically that's as much as we can put into her for now. But we still want to try to find her a 4-star weapon. Okay. And there are ways to find 4-star weapons. In fact, there's one way that I already know of. If we head over to Mondstadt, which is kind of the main city, there's a blacksmith here, which we can give materials to so that he can craft us a 4-star weapon. However, right now, I already know that I don't have the materials required, but I'll still show you anyway. So we come over to this guy. As you play the game, you're going to unlock blueprints. Oh, wait. I think I went to the wrong thing. Like something made. You can get blueprints, and I actually have a blueprint for this. See, I have the... If we look here, we see I don't have the blueprint for this dagger or this sword, but I do have the blueprint for this magic, and I can go with whatever I want, Prototype Malice or Mappa Mare. I can click on it and see what it does, right, and what why I would want it, and what I need to get it. So I need 50 of these, which are very hard to find, and these are even harder to find. So I need to find all of these, but then I can craft myself a 4-star weapon and start dumping stuff into that for my Barbara. And then once that's done, you know, and it's fully ascended, I have to hit adventure rank 25. So in order to, let's say, enhance Barbara or ascend her any further, I need adventure rank 25. So now I also need these materials as well. So I can go looking. These are dropped by level 30 Oceanid. So I can go looking for an Oceanid and see if I can get that. These are dropped by level 40s. So I need to be strong enough to be able to kill these before I can even get them. But as I hit adventure rank 25, I probably will be, so it won't be a problem. But if I want to level up Bennett, he's going to require different materials, likely from Fire Guys, because he's a fire dude. You know, that makes sense. So we have different ways to get this, and we also have to hit level 25. So, you know, you can kind of see how this is going. And maybe I didn't give the absolute best explanation of how this game works, and I feel like I'm not an absolute master at Genshin, so there's a lot of different things you can talk about. But as far as, like, first impressions go, I've probably put maybe 20 hours into it, maybe 25 hours. And I was pretty addicted early on. But as I continuously log in each day and do my commissions and try to figure out what to do, I find myself, honestly, just getting... I'm feeling like I've experienced what I wanted to experience with this game without getting, you know, balls deep into it and having it become my main game. However, for you, it might be different. You know, my wife actually started playing it, and she's loving it right now. But she's kind of in that honeymoon period where she's, you know, I was in that same period where I was loving it and I was playing a lot. These days, I find myself not as interested as I was before, but who knows? You know, I might that might change as things come out for the game, or maybe my mood changes. It does have a story mode, which seems to be pretty in-depth. I skipped a lot of it because for games like this, I would just prefer to just kind of zone out and just kill monsters while I watch videos and stuff like that. So that's pretty much what I've been spending most of my time doing. You can have a look at the overworld map here, which is quite large. There's places that I haven't explored yet and gotten to these towers. So, you know, we'll get more parts of the game there. There's also this part of the game, which is like the kind of never-ending dungeon sort of feel to it. Hold on, I don't remember how to get there. Where is it? I don't remember. Oh, Spiral Abyss, that's it. So you can come here and you can do challenges, which are pretty fun, and you get some pretty good rewards. They're also pretty difficult. So even at floor 2, I'm not strong enough to complete this within the time limit. There's a whole bunch of stuff. If you're looking for a game that has system upon system upon system upon mechanic upon mechanic upon mechanic upon resource and and different types of currencies and all that. You know, it's actually it's fun to get into this and learn about it, right? And it's fun to uncover the mysteries and to just become acclimated. I find the characters talk way too much. They interrupt me all the time, and I don't like it. But that's a minor gripe. But yeah, it's one of those games, right, where you can find yourself just overwhelmed by all sorts of different mechanics and systems in the game. But then once you start to learn them, you start to feel pretty smart, and you're like, okay, so now I know, I want to level up this girl, so I need to go out and look for oceanids and kill them, and then I'll have what I need, and then maybe I'm going to need something else, so I'm going to need to go look for that. And it's kind of like a treadmill that you continuously are running on while chasing a carrot that's just always right in front of your face, right? You can never quite get there because there's just always more you need to do. And I haven't even touched all of it. I mean, there's these constellations you can learn about. I think you unlock these by stacking the same character and fusing them together to make these. I think, see, this girl, I have multiple of her, so I can actually convert her into this and activate this, which gives her an additional charge on this ability. And you can continuously do that. So if Bennett is your favorite character in the whole game, you want to collect multiple Bennetts so that you can fuse them and get these constellations unlocked to make your Bennett stronger. There's also talents, which are all these abilities. Every time you ascend, you unlock a new ability. So I won't get this until I can ascend to phase 4. But then you can level up these abilities by dumping books into them, which I haven't even gotten far enough yet to do. But you can do that eventually. So that's more ways to boost up your characters and make them even stronger. And the artifact system is just the last thing I kind of want to go into here, I think, because there are multiple different sets of artifacts that you can collect. It's essentially, you have a flower, a feather, a timepiece, a cup, and a crown, or a headpiece, or whatever. So there's 5 different artifacts for every character. They also have 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, and 5-star artifacts. Obviously, the higher star level, the more impactful that artifact is going to have. So you're looking for 4 stars. And I've gotten a few, and it is possible to collect these all through the free-to-play mechanics. You just have to be higher level. So I got a couple of these 4 stars from completing quests, like story quests, and I think there's a certain character that just gives you one so you can get started. But as your adventure rank gets higher, the monsters level up with you as well, and they will start to drop 4-star artifacts for free, and you won't have to pay for them. You just have to get lucky and get an artifact that actually has the stats that you want. You can see each different artifact has different stats. This one has HP and energy recharge. This one has elemental mastery and HP and attack. You got all these different ones. So you got to figure out what does your character benefit from and get the right artifacts for that character. And if you want to get even more in depth, you can find them from the same set pieces, and the set pieces give you specific things as well. If I have 2 of these Bloodstained Chevaliers, I can get just a 25% damage, physical damage buff, which is really good if you're doing a lot of physical damage. So maybe I want one of these, but you got to find them. You got to know where to find them, and you got to do the domains to unlock them and all that stuff. So I think I'm getting to my limit of being able to explain this any further. Again, these types of games are not really my forte, but it doesn't mean that I don't have fun diving into them every once in a while. And, if you like what you see, this is what you get. There's the combat is pretty fun. There's a lot of different ways you can do combat. Some of them use spells like this. Some of them use bow attacks like this, which, by the way, you can zoom in and do like big electric charge bolts. Some of them use swords that are faster attack with their fire attacks. And then others have big heavy weapons like Noelle, who can do this move that was also just taken directly from Breath of the Wild. And I really like having this girl in my party, mostly because of her big club, because her big club can actually farm ore very quickly, much quicker than anyone else. I don't know if I'm going to find some ore here to be able to show you. Perfect. There's one here. So let me show you. If I use, well, first of all, if I use Fischl, her arrows do like next to nothing against this. And if I use Bennett, it's a little more reasonable. He will eventually break that. But the best thing is if I use Noelle, she one-shots it. So sometimes you find big chunks of ore that you want to collect, and having someone with a big weapon like this is pretty nice to just break it all pretty quickly. Anyway, guys, I think that's going to do it for today. Let me know if you had any more questions about Genshin. I'll do my best to answer, but like I said, it's not, I'm probably not going to be able to. But it's more just showing you the game. If you like it, it's free to play. It costs you literally nothing to test it out. And I bet that if you gave it a chance, you probably would have a moment where you found yourself entranced by it and thought maybe you'd want to play it a lot. And then maybe it'll continue for you, and you'll have yourself a nice little free-to-play game that you can play as often as you want. And if you want to put money into it, you will... Oops, I missed that. If you want to put money into it, you will be able to increase your chances at getting 4-star and 5-star items and characters.
Let's light it up.
We can use fire to get this off here. And get that chest. And actually, you know what? Sorry, I lied. There's one more thing I wanted to do. I actually have enough Primo Gems to do a wish. So I can do 10 wishes because it costs 1,600. So I can either go for weapons or I can go for specific characters. I'm going to go here and I'm going to just see. We're going to go ahead and spend some Primo Gems. Actually, I only need 800 because I already have 5 of these fates. So let's spend 800 and we'll see if we get lucky on camera here. And this is what you're kind of playing this game for, is to do these pulls and just see, you know, if you get really lucky. So you're usually going to get a bunch of 3-star weapons of different varieties. And some, you know, for your first weapon, you're probably going to use 3-star. But you're only going to be using 3-star weapons in order to be able to earn 4-star weapons later. So here's a character that's new to me. I've never unlocked her. She's a water type hero that looks like she uses swords. I don't know anything about her except that she probably does water damage. So that's pretty neat. And that's probably the only character I'm going to get here. Sometimes you can get lucky and get 2. But no, we just got 1. Oh, I actually got a 4-star sword. So that's kind of neat. Except that my character using sword... Never mind, this is a great sword. So this is actually great. So I've been looking for a 4-star heavy weapon so I can give Noelle. So there we go. And maybe it's not the right 4-star, right? This one gives energy recharge. It's really not something that I actually care that much about. But the base attack damage is going to have higher numbers. So for now, for an initial 4-star weapon, this is great. So I can actually take this. And we got that character as well, by the way. But I can go to Noelle. And I can change her weapon now because she's using just a basic 3-star club. I can switch it to this 4-star. And again, maybe it's not the right one. This seems to be a lot about elemental skill. This one might be better for a different character. But still, we're going to put it on her. Am I in combat? I hear the music like I am. There we go. So now she's got this weapon. Pretty cool. I've always been kind of curious if the Great Sword has the same kind of heavy impact that the Great Club has.
I'll catch up.
If I can find some ore around here, we'll learn that. But let's say that now that I got this weapon, you know, let's say it was the perfect weapon for Noelle, or let's say I didn't even care if it was the perfect weapon, but, you know, it's a 4-star weapon, so it's the one that I'm going to use for her. Then I would just, now that I have the weapon, I can go to weapon, enhance it, and I did just use a bunch of my materials, so I don't really have a lot, but I can get it up to at least level 5, and let's see what kind of 2-star materials I have. Oh, it's enough to max it out, so that's great. So we can max it right up to level 20, and it boosts its attack damage by a lot. And now I can ascend it, and I am high enough level to ascend this, right? So I need 2 more of these wolf milk tooth, which I can get from specific domains on Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. Today's Wednesday, so I can't get this today. I'll have to wait till tomorrow. Actually, not even tomorrow. I'll have to wait till Friday in order to be able to farm for this. So that sucks. Unless there's other ways to get it. Oh, I can purchase it from the Souvenir Shop. All right, so I know that I've been dragging this on longer than I really meant to, but let's go ahead and just do this really quick so I can show you the Souvenir Shop. It allows you to buy specific resources that you might not be able to find because it's not Friday or something like that. So the Souvenir Shop is this gem lady over here, and she has a whole bunch of different things you can buy. So let's see. And we're using yet another currency to buy these, Anemo sigils, which I can't remember how you get them, but I have a lot. So we need that horn, right? And we need 2 of them. We can purchase 3. So let's go ahead and purchase 1, purchase 2, redeem it, and now we have it. And it only cost me 4 each, 4 sigils. So now I can finally enhance this lady's weapon up to the next ascension path, which increases the base attack by a lot. And then I'm going to even go as far as say 3-star materials, and we're going to dump all these 3-star weapons into it to try to get it as high level as possible. And now she's going to be nice, and she's just going to have a lot more damage now, which is going to help me in situations where I need that. So there we go. We just hit level 40, and now the next goal is to ascend it again, but as we've gone over, we need to hit adventure rank 25. So anyway, this video, as usual, has gone on a little longer than I expected, but I hope I've given you enough information about the game to decide if you want to play it. And the fact that it's free to play should be enough for you to at least give it a try if it looks anything like a game that you might like. So yeah, give it a try. I don't know how much more I'm going to play it. I'm probably going to log in every once in a while. When I see my wife play, I get a little more excited to play, so I jump in and do something. And it might sink its teeth in me even more, or I might just end up just not playing it anymore. But, you know, maybe it'll be your favorite game ever. So if that's the case, then hopefully you'll give it a try. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and we will see you in the next one.